Libyan leader Colonel Gaddafi has launched fresh airstrikes against rebel forces, reinforcing calls for a no-fly zone. Britain and France are currently drafting a UN resolution to establish an air exclusion zone over the country, which will be debated at a NATO meeting on Thursday. On the ground, rebels are fighting to retain control of the east of the country and a number of key towns in the west, despite the government counterattacks. Middle East correspondent Anne Barker reports.
Government forces launch another airstrike on rebels in the oil port of Ras Lanuf. So far, the rebels have managed to hold the town with anti-aircraft guns and grenade launchers. And more weapons and reinforcements are continually being sent to the front line from other rebel-controlled towns like Brega.
Some commanders, colonels and generals from the Libyan army came to us from the free cities and gave us proper orders to be reorganised, better than before, as you can see here in the companies and brigades.
The rebels believe they can take on Gaddafi's ground forces, but admit they're outgunned if the government uses its air power. And that's why they keep repeating their call for a no-fly zone. It's a demand that's vexing the international community and one that'll be discussed at a NATO meeting later this week. There is general support for the rebels.
I want to send a very clear message to those who are around Colonel Gaddafi. It is their choice to make how they operate moving forward, and they will be held accountable for whatever violence continues to take place there. In the meantime, we've got NATO, as we speak, consulting in Brussels around a wide range of potential options, including potential military options.
But the exact details are problematic.
Any NATO operation would take place in accordance with and pursuant to a UN mandate. I also note that the current UN mandate does not authorize the use of armed forces. However, I can't imagine the international community and the United Nations stand idly by if Gaddafi and his regime continue to attack their own people systematically.
If there is a decision to establish a no-fly zone, it'll only feed into the Libyan regime's view of the role of the West.
It seems they have an agenda, and there is a tremendous conspiracy. It's clear now that France, the UK and the USA are now getting in touch with disaffected people in Benghazi. For sure, there is a conspiracy to divide Libya. It seems that the British are yearning for the colonial era in that part.
Colonel Gaddafi, though, has reportedly offered to leave the country if he and his family's well-being and wealth are guaranteed. A former Prime Minister has also offered to hold talks with the rebels.
The tragic situation that we have created for ourselves in the last few days has become complicated, and it will get more complicated as the days go by. And it has started to take on international and regional dimensions. If we don't deal with this now, we will lose control as Libyan people, and we would have surrendered our future as Libyans to the will of others.
But the rebels have rejected both offers out of hand and say Gaddafi doesn't deserve an honourable exit and is only seeking to buy extra time to marshal his forces. Anne Barker, Lateline.